On the phone with me is the head coach of the Upton-Sundance Patriots, Andy Garland, as we get ready for our Wyopreps game of the week, which was voted on by you, the fans, as Bighorn at Upton-Sundance. And, Coach, you guys right now have a shot to possibly win the 2A East championship, and it's been a battle amongst the top four teams in the 2A East. You guys coming in at 6-1 overall, 5-1 in the conference. What are you seeing out of your squad that's gotten you off to such a good start, and hopefully you try and keep it going?
Well, just improvement throughout the year. You know, I mean, we had to replace some key positions up front this year with some younger guys, and I think just week to week up front on our offensive and defensive line, you know, we've just seen some good improvements each week and trying to get better with those guys, and those guys feeling comfortable with our schemes and their assignments and things like that. So I think just some steady improvement there, and then we've had some of our guys that came back this year have been playing really well as well. So yeah, I mean, we've just kind of been getting a little bit better each week and going from there.
Well, something must be working well if you're number 3 in rushing and number 2 in passing and number 1 overall in total offense right now. Something's got to be going right on that side of the ball. What would you attribute this success to this season?
Well, we threw in some new wrinkles in our offense this year with our run game, and bringing Jess Claycomb back and Braden Bruce and our senior quarterback, Brad Kruger. They all kind of bought into what we were doing. And we had more of a run focus, this year offensively. But obviously, Brad's also throwing the ball really well right now. So just kind of a combination of some new stuff that's been working for us, and just trying to get a little bit better at it each week.
What do you guys do that's made your run defense so good? You're giving up, I think, only 27 yards per game.
Yeah, I mean, I attribute that to Coach Hoffland, Coach Lorette, and Coach Keller. Our staff, I mean, those guys do a great job with the defense. And, we preach being physical up front, tackling well, and we try to get after people up front. And, we do have our struggles. I mean, we've struggled in our secondary at times. So those have been some things we've tried to shore up and get better at each week as well.
Well, you guys are gearing up for a big game, and finally, I guess maybe it's football weather. Do you feel like your kids are going to be okay in more kind of frozen tundra type weather on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, it's been this way all week, so the kids are used to it. I don't know. Tonight it was a chilly practice, but all week long it's been like that, and so the kids know what to expect, and and they're excited to play this game. So I don't. It's going to be kind of cold conditions and that type of thing, but they're ready to play.
Is this almost a playoff game before the actual playoffs from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems that way, definitely. I mean, Bighorn, coming to Sundance, and it's always a good matchup against Bighorn. I have a lot of respect for Kirk and his staff and those kids they have over there, and so it always seems to be a ball game, and I mean, it's kind of has that kind of feel to it for sure.
What are your thoughts about what you see on film from the Rams this season?
Well, they had to replace some key positions from last year, but they've done that really well. They're throwing the ball well. They have a new quarterback this year, and he's throwing the ball well, and they just get after you on defense just like they always have. They have good team speed, just like they've always had, it seems like, but they have good athletes over there, and they're good up front. So we don't expect anything different than, what we've seen from them in the past.
All right, let's put it all together. What's got to happen for you guys to be successful in this one, do you feel?
Well, I think considering tomorrow and conditions, things like that, I think special teams is going to be big. I think, there's going to be some plays on special teams that could determine the outcome of the game. So we have to take care of the football, limit turnovers, and then offensively, hopefully we get our run game going, get that established, early and get that going. And then defensively, we're going to have to cover well in the secondary. And we run a lot of man-to-man, and they know that, and we know that, and so we kind of expect them to, to come and throw against us, because that's where we have struggled a little bit this year. So we're going to have to cover well in the secondary. So,
Coach Garland, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck in that big game that you guys get to host in Sundance Friday night.
Thanks, David.
On the phone with me is the head coach of the Bighorn Rams as we visit actually for the second time this season, Kirk McLaughlin. Bighorn right now in a three-way tie in that 2A East. And I guess we talked a couple of weeks back, Kirk, and you almost kind of thought that it would almost come down to this, didn't you?
Well, I'd hoped. That's for sure. We needed some things. We needed to play well and get to this point and beat some good teams. And but I knew we had an opportunity with the early struggles we had to still be in it. And we've given ourselves an opportunity to still play for the 1 seed out of the East.
You've rattled off 5 straight victories here in conference play. What has that done for your team's confidence? What have you maybe seen change even in the last couple of weeks?
I think we're a more disciplined team. We're doing things the right way. We've kind of settled into the season. I think we just started the season a little bit behind. Our spring and summer just weren't that good, and I think we just found ourselves a little bit behind. We found what works for our team. We had to change it up. What worked for our team last year wasn't necessarily working for the team this year, so we had to find what was going to work and do the things that we need to do for them to be successful.
You guys can get the top seed. I think you could be 2, you could be 3. A lot of different possibilities. So this game does have major implications. Do you talk with your team about that and kind of what's at stake, or do you hopefully try and block out more of the outside noise?
No, we told them what's at stake. I think it's important they know what a win means and what a loss means. I think we could fall all the way to 4 with a loss. In fact, I'm pretty sure we will. But we also know that with a win, we could be a 1 seed, and being a 1 seed is a big deal, especially when you have to travel and go face some really good teams out west. You'd rather be home. So we know it's at stake, but that's not our focus. We're focused on Upton-Sundance and doing what we can to try to be successful against them.
We'll talk about the Patriots in just a moment. For your squad, have you seen anything change in terms of you mentioned a little bit of the confidence has grown and the kids have gotten used to what you want to do this year to be successful. Anyone in particular that's kind of stepped their game up a little bit here in the last few weeks? I know when we last talked, Carson Bates was just coming back, and did he give you a boost that you were hoping maybe?
Carson, anytime he can play, whether healthy or not, he's going to give us a boost, and we've seen his health improve, and that's definitely given us a boost with what we can do offensively. But we've had some guys step up. We found some guys that can be weapons for us, and we've been able to disperse the ball around a little bit, so it's not just one guy. Some guys really stepped up in games. Luke Molinak has run the ball well. We've had several guys become threats in the pass game for us. Our offensive line has improved, but then, when you start a sophomore quarterback at the beginning of the year, he's going to have struggles, but Cooper Garber's really stepped up his game and has shown some improvements from week to week as well. Just overall offensively, we've seen some guys step up and fill some voids that we had in the early part of the season. Defensively, I just think we've been more disciplined and, just fundamentally we're more sound than we were at the beginning of the year.
Well, let's talk about your opposition, the Upton-Sundance Patriots. They're no slouch. They're one of the top teams offensively, defensively. They've got some great individuals. What do you look at when you see Coach Garland's squad?
Wow, they just got some great kids, great athletes all over the place. Thematically, offensively, they're going to give you fits because of what they're running this year with some of the wing T stuff, all the misdirection, and they just seem to be running the ball at will on teams. They got a great run game, but you can't fall asleep. That quarterback can really swing it, and he's got studs to throw it to. Defensively, they haven't given up much on the run game. That rush defense is pretty dang amazing, and they've got athletes that can cover. So if you score on Upton-Sundance, you might want to keep the ball. So they've done a great job there, and Coach Hofflin, as the defensive coordinator, Coach Garland, they do a great job. Got a lot of respect for those guys.
We'll talk a little bit about what's got to happen right for you guys to have success on Friday.
Limit mistakes. In our first 2 losses, we turned the ball over a lot, and you can't do that against this squad either. So we got to limit our mistakes and be able to limit their big play capability. We got to make them earn it. They got a lot of different weapons and a lot of ways to get those weapons the ball, and we can't let them big play us.
Coach, I appreciate the time. As always, good luck against Upton-Sundance, and we'll see you in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Thank you.